I disapprove because I was hoping that the basic cost of living would go down, gas prices, grocery prices, and for the most part, I haven't seen any change.
While the Epstein controversy continues to swirl around American politics, that's not the main concern for a dozen Nevada swing voters. What is? Inflation. We'll get into Epstein shortly. What's important to understand for now is that among these 10 independents and 2 Republicans, 7 disapprove overall of the administration's actions since January, while 3 approve and 2 are neutral. Why do those who disapprove do so?
Trump has made a lot of promises that, some of them he just didn't deliver on. So gas prices went down and then they went back up. And I haven't really seen anything happen, with the groceries, especially. Like since he's been in office, I've actually been spending more whenever I go to the grocery store.
I want to pick up on Tammy's point about things like the groceries, the economy, stuff like that. I'm really nervous with just the day-to-day life that we're living in and all the uncertainty that's going on. And with him as president, I'm having a hard time with almost anything he does.
Mainly the groceries is a huge one. I'm a single mom and I have a household of 4 people and a baby. That's huge impact.
I just feel like everything he do is pretty much just it's a waste. The big beautiful bill, just the gas prices, like they say, groceries. I mean, he's trying to get rid of Social Security.
8 of the 12 say they are more economically anxious now than they were in January. Just 1 is less so. What's driving their economic anxiety?
Many people experience the feeling of the Medicaid benefits and the healthcare costs that may cause them to have more coming out of pocket once they are not, once they're denied benefits.
I think it started with the tariffs. You had the tariffs and it, what everybody was saying in the stock market and it, and then every week or so, then he threatens somebody or a tariff on somebody again, and just kind of keeps you on edge. Like, I'm not really sure. It feels like you can't really, be sure what's going to happen. So when you're unsure, that keeps anxiety.
Well, the cost of living is what gives me anxiety. I thought gas prices were going to go down. I thought that egg prices were going to go down, which they have slightly, but the other prices in the grocery store haven't subsided. And I just think that, I'm terrified. I don't know if Social Security is going to be there when I retire.
Okay.
And I've worked very hard for it to be there.
Tariffs.
Inflation. I'm seeing it on groceries. I recently had to purchase a car. I'm seeing it on the cost of vehicles.
Building materials.
Insurance.
Gas.
I would say healthcare also,
All right.
especially in the hospitals. I recently got a bill for a x-ray on my daughter. I have to appeal it. It was like over $20,000 for one x-ray they took. It's like $24,000. I'm like, what on earth? So they have to resubmit it to insurance and stuff, but I can't believe some of the prices.
All 12 respondents know who Jeffrey Epstein was. 8 of the 12 think there's a cover-up in this case and want full transparency. And most of those 8 think President Trump himself is engaged in a cover-up to protect his own reputation. The other 4 of the 12 think it's time to move on from Epstein and that other issues are more important. Those who want transparency say things like this.
They're all guilty, but who is being protected? And to me, when you're protecting those men, it's just another example of the deep rot in the government system. There's punishment for the have-nots, but there's not punishment for the people that are rich. So I think it's very, very problematic that Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted of trafficking, but we have no idea who she trafficked to. And Trump said he was going to be transparent. Bondi, this file was on her desk. I have the list. It's on my desk. Now there's no list. So that's a question I'd like to ask Trump, actually.
I don't think there's enough evidence to show that Epstein committed suicide. And just the fact that Trump and the others said that they would show the Epstein files. They even came out and said it was on their desk and they were going to get through the list and let us know. And then all of a sudden, it's like someone told them, hey, hush it up. And now all of a sudden, there's no such document. They've never seen it, never heard of it when they just said it was on their desk.
There's supposed to be a list. There's a list of people that went to this island, and those people could possibly be brought to court. And some of those people are high-ranking officials and people from other countries that are loyalty and things like that. So all of this, how can anybody let that go? Knowing that there's this apparent list and there's somebody in jail who was the liaison for the person, and we don't know anything.
Those who want to move on said this.
It's been 6 years. I feel like it's just like this ongoing kind of like circus. And I just think that it needs to just be done with. They're either going to show the files or they're not, but the constant back and forth, I just feel like it's ran its course, and just to let it go.
I think we have more to worry about in our economy and things that's going on with us in the United States than someone that is already it's out of the picture. I don't even dwell on it. I don't even care about it.
The guy's dead and he deserved it, in my opinion, but I think there are bigger fish to fry.
So what matters more to these folks, Epstein or inflation? 10 said inflation. That said, respondents believe the president needs to be careful how he talks to the public about this case. We put on screen this post from the president, one where he took issue with supporters who have bought into what he calls the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Here's how our swing voters reacted to it.
It wasn't a hoax. All of the girls that Jeff Epstein engaged with, and all of the people, all of the men, the young girls that he victimized, it's not a hoax. So that's total crap. I didn't know about that post, but that's just a disgusting post that he's saying that it was a hoax.
It just feels like typical Trump deflection, right? Like, give me a straight answer about Jeff Epstein and let's move forward, right? But instead, I'm going to talk about all my successes. I'm going to get you kind of thinking like, oh, this is a minor topic. This is no big deal. And I'm going to spew vitriol about these other people to deflect from the real topic, which is the fact that I'm not giving the files over and I'm not being forthcoming.
The way that he constructs his words to manipulate and verbally play with the reader or the voter when it comes to this. There's a way that I see a president, and the way that he speaks on social media is not the way that I would think a president should be speaking to the people.
It's just insulting to people's intelligence, and where he says he just disregards, if you have a different point of view, you're weak, and and you don't even deserve to be, and I don't want your support anymore. Just be gone. It just is a very it's just insulting.
Let's pivot to talk about the one big beautiful bill. All 12 respondents had heard the president had signed it into law. 7 said they didn't know enough about it to have an opinion. 4 said they dislike it, and 1 said he likes it. And he explained it this way.
It's just that I think that it's going to motivate more people to get involved, get more work done, I look at it from the work aspect. I look at it from people that are not working to people that are working. The jobs are there. The jobs are there.
Those who are opposed said this.
I just find it just an abomination, offensive that you cut, as much as you did out of Medicaid and SNAP, and you're still going to increase the deficit. That's the most ridiculous thing that just to me is just ego. It's just, it doesn't seem like you even care about the people. Increase the deficit and cut services. So, that just makes no sense to me.
One reason I dislike it is it's it's hugely expensive. So it's increasing our deficit by like leaps and bounds. That's one issue. Another one I think has to do with like deportation, immigration issues, all that stuff. I think the way they're going about that is short-sighted.
They were taking away Social Security. You have a lot of people that's on food stamps. That's going to get food stamps taken away from them. My biggest issue with Vegas right now, and up until I got here, I wasn't afraid to go anywhere in Vegas. I was just, freely, not worried about anything. Didn't have to watch my back, and that crime is like it's going crazy.
Okay, so hold on a second. What does the big beautiful bill have to do with crime?
Well, crime is the things that they're taking into the big beautiful bill that they're taking away from people. That's going to cause crime. It's going to be a big issue because when people don't have, they tend to do things that they would normally do.
Got it. Okay. And when did you hear that Social Security was being cut by this law?
Well, I was on Facebook, I believe, when I heard that, if I'm not mistaken.
5 of the 12 respondents say they are familiar with the Medicaid provisions in the new law. When we showed a list of key items related to Medicaid, 10 of the 12 said they were supportive of tighter work requirements and more stringent eligibility verification. But only 1 respondent supported cuts in federal Medicaid payments to states, the projections that millions will lose coverage, and that hundreds of rural hospitals might close. On balance, after considering these provisions all together, 9 opposed the Medicaid reforms in the One Big Beautiful Bill, and 3 supported them. Those who opposed said this.
I'm concerned about healthcare in rural communities, especially Battle Mountain and Winnemucca. Having worked in healthcare, access to healthcare, especially in those regions, is so important. And when you have to travel outside, perhaps maybe to Reno to get healthcare, loss of life is certainly something that could be happening if those small rural hospitals close.
If someone is, like I said, committing fraud or trying to commit fraud, I think that their benefits should be cut. But to take a lot of money from healthcare in general or from a hospital, I kind of have more of a problem with that as opposed to it being taken away from someone who can work and is just trying not to work.
Given that our focus group respondents all live in the Las Vegas area, we asked about no tax on tips. For context, 2 of the respondents earn income from tips, while 6 others have friends or family who rely on tips. All of our respondents had heard about no tax on tips, but most were fuzzy on the details. We showed a slide with the key provisions. After learning that tips are still subject to FICA taxes, every respondent thought it was inaccurate to say that there are, quote, no taxes on tips. After seeing the provisions listed, 5 respondents said they like this new law, 3 dislike it, and 4 are neutral. Those who like it said this.
I feel like the numbers work for the people who make less. So up to $25,000, that you can deduct from your federal income tax.
Oh, well, anything you can do to, get more money back. is a, you know, that's a good thing. And so, yeah, I mean, that it looks good from that point of view.
I like it because I don't work for tips, but my significant other does. He's a cab driver in Las Vegas, and you know, these cash tips, they're pretty much under the table, but the credit card tips, you know, they're taxed, and right as of now. And I would hope to see this go into effect to where just because somebody tips him on a credit card, he's not penalized.
Thank you for joining us again this month. Please forward this link to a friend, and please join us again next month. And please follow us now on Substack. You can find us at the Swing Voter Project. Thank you.